All right, what up? What up? What's popping? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy. The dating game was good. So I got a special guest in the building. A special guest, my dude, Red Pill Chauvinist, is in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good?
Peace, everybody. Peace.
What's good?
Shout out, man, chilling,
brother. And today we're gonna be talking about your book. This book right here. Hack Her, you feel what I'm saying? So this
also in the Spanish version.
Oh, he got the Spanish version.
You know what I'm saying?
So for all y'all who speak Spanish, y'all can get the Spanish versions. We got the English version and the Spanish version. So he's getting it in heavy. So listen, man, I'm telling you, this book right here, okay? This book right here is heavy stuff. This is not for the faint of heart. I'm just saying. You understand? Because I'm reading, I'm like, God damn. I was like, this motherfucker going in. You feel what I'm saying? But before we get into that, tell the people who you are. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to April. She's putting the links to the book so you guys can click the link to get it on Amazon. Shout out to Unique 79 in the building. You understand what I'm saying? So tell the people, you know, who you are, what you do, what you about, and all that other good stuff.
No doubt. So in this YouTube space, they call me the Red Pill Chauvinist. But regards to the YouTube space, I am a spiritual being having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
On my channel, what you'll find is, you know, advice on becoming a better version of yourself, especially for young men. I talk about travel. I've traveled the Western Hemisphere. I haven't tapped the Eastern Hemisphere yet, but, you know, we have time for that.
Right.
And also, we talk about female nature, because I find that a lot of guys, even though I think they should be focused on themselves and bettering themselves,
right,
a lot of guys focus on women. So just to help them out with their frustration, I give advice on female nature so that, you know, you can better interact and have and know how to treat women accordingly. Because like I like to say, I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a relationship expert. But if you understand how people move, how people act, then, you know, you'll be able to see yourself on the chessboard and move accordingly.
Right. That's what's up. Yeah, because I was reading this book, man, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Because like I was saying, you know, before we started, I was like, this book reminds me of the Manipulated Man book. If, you know, for those who don't know, that's a book that came out years ago, and I was breaking down a lot of stuff that men should know about how females get down and how women will get down in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? So were you inspired by that book? And how did all that, you know, and did that have like any influence on the book that you're doing now and stuff that you say?
Absolutely. Good question. See, The Manipulated Man was a book that I read maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember when I read the book, shout out to Professor MGTOW, aka Mr. Freeport. He's the one that posted that book on his Instagram. And I just happened to read the book. And when I read the book, I was like, the book didn't necessarily teach me anything per se. What it did is that it took me out of thinking that I was crazy.
Right.
Because a lot of things that I was saying about women before reading the book, I would, you know, talk to my guy friends or just, you know, guys in general. They'd be like, nah, bro, you crazy. Or chicks would be like, nah, that's not me. I don't act like that. And I'm just like, but these are my experiences, not just with women I deal with, but women in my family, just women in general. And I'm just like, I know I'm not bugging. So when I read the book and I saw all these things like, yep, that's true. Yep. Like, and then, like I said earlier, I found out that book was written 50 years ago, and in the 70s, because 50 years ago, and I was like, dude, still don't know this? You know what? My female cousin has always been telling me that I need to start a YouTube channel. My younger brother's been telling me I need to start a YouTube channel. My nephew's been telling me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. Now, I don't like to talk about women as far in a public setting, but I was like, dudes need to know this, because a lot of guys still feel that they gotta buy chicks flowers off top and take them on a date and bring. I'm looking like, yo, that's that rom-com stuff. It's not real life. But a lot of this, but I also worked in the city as a teacher. Worked in, you know, healthcare and all that. And I say all that to say, you know, I grew up with 2 parents, you know, family and all that. And it wasn't until I worked in the quote unquote inner city that I started realizing that everybody didn't grow up like me. You know what I mean? Even my education and whatever. So I say all that to say, I realize a lot of young boys, young males don't have men in the house to even show them what a man is, or even to know how to treat a woman. I learned how to treat a woman by seeing my father treat his husband, by seeing the way my father treated his wife, which was my mother. I didn't have to read a book or anything like that, you know. So in doing so, I started the channel. Once I started the channel, I saw the type of questions guys were having, and I was just like, See, it's one thing for a guy to have a particular type of question depending on his age. If he's 16, 17, 18, cool. But
Right.
if he's 35, still asking how you get a chick number,
Right.
or like it's like we gotta be focused on other things. But go ahead, man. I've been ranting, but
Nah,
black is according
it's all you. That's what I'm saying.
man, the manipulated man has is an influence in my channel and all that, because like I said, I really find that if men could have a grasp on that aspect of their life, which is female, I think they'd be better able to focus on the more important things in their life, which is bettering themselves.
Right. That's some real talk. And you know, guys, I'm telling you, the game that's about to be spit today, because I got some questions about this book. We're gonna get into some of the topics of this book, because I was like, yo, because you know, people be talking about the red pill, this red pill, that, and I feel like after reading this book, man.
Can I jump in real quick?
Go ahead.
Real quick, just to talk about the red pill, because I forgot what show I was watching, but it says something like, before getting to the red pill, a lot of guys go through MGTOW.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I got into this YouTube space, not as a creator, but just as an observer, my first avenue as far as like listening to dudes talk about women is through the MGTOW. I was like, all right, men going their own way, okay. Like, yeah, I was tired of this dating stuff. I'm in New York, just like Locario. I was like, I'm tired of this dating stuff, like costing my pockets too much. Plus, I wasn't getting enough return on my investments.
Right.
So started watching these videos, and what got me off of MGTOW was the fact, like, I felt like they were hating on women, and they had like a negative like view of women, and I was like, I'm not saying all that. What I was trying to say with my view of men going their own way is women are not going to be my priority. I mean, I'm going to prioritize on different things in my life. Right. But then I heard about the red pill community, and the red pill community falls more into, even though I don't like putting labels on myself, but I understand these are some things I have to do when I'm in this space.
Right.
So I chose the red pill moniker, red pill chauvinist. But to me, but in addition, red pill to me means not just women. Red pill to me is having a certain type of discernment of the world, of how you see the world.
Right.
So the world isn't just women; it's jobs, it's economics, it's education, healthcare, all that stuff. I mean, when I talk red pill, there's a lot of things I won't say on YouTube because I know I'll just get canceled because it'll be too much truth. But I tiptoe and dab and all that. So I just wanted to say the red pill to me is not just about women. It's about seeing society's narrative for what it is, and asking the right questions, and choosing your own way in that sense.
Right. And the thing that I liked about the book was that, and what I was going to say about the whole like red pill thing is, I think a lot of times on, like, when I read this book, it made a lot of stuff on YouTube as far as quote unquote red pill look like it was watered down. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning like, and also I feel like it wasn't in a context that was sort of like something a guy could take and sort of use in his situation as far as like on YouTube. But when I'm reading the book, I'm like, yo, this is some information that I think is useful for men to know. And on top of that, what I like that you did in the beginning of the book, and we're going to get into the book in a second, is I saw that you wrote, hey, this isn't, what I'm saying in here isn't about all women. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of guys, they get this mistake where they think like when you say a certain thing, that means all women, or people try to sort of like miscredit what's being said by trying to argue, well, women aren't like, it's like, no, we're not saying everybody's like this, but in general, these are certain things that are actually happening in reality. So what's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, the reason why, if you notice, I put that at the beginning of the book. I basically said, this does not describe all women, because, I mean, all men aren't monoliths, all women aren't monoliths, or whatever you want to say. We're not all the same. But I do have a chapter that I believe the chapter name is the same but different.
Right.
I mean, so even though it's not all women, what I do say is this book does this. What I do say is I leave it up to the reader to decide whether or not this book describes most women. And for the sake of this book, I said that most equals 51% or more. Okay, so if you finish reading this book and you find that 51, actually I was gonna put 50.5%, but I was like, nah, let me just round it up.
Yeah, right.
So guys, if you finish reading this book and you find that more than half of the women in your life, including your mother, your sister, your auntie, your girl, the chick at the cash register, the female police officer, the judge, the teacher, your former teacher. If you find that more than at least or at least a little more than half fall into what I described in this book, then yeah, you'll find that most of the women out here, at least in the Western culture, falls into the category of this book. And I will also emphasize that I'm describing the westernized female. I don't know much about the Eastern culture and all that. So to be also clear, I'm not talking about a Chinese woman. I don't know about that. I'm talking about an Indian woman from India. That's a different culture. I'm talking about everything on the West Coast, on the Western Hemisphere.
Right. So what is the book Hacker Female Nature mean? What is that? What's like, describe that? Why did you name it that? What is it? Crazy. What are they going to get into when they get this book?
Okay. Where do I want to start? So just know I got the title for the book after I wrote the entire book. It's not like I had the title on the side. I'm gonna write off that. So hack her, sounds like hacker. So it's so play on words. So me and my friends for a long time, we would have this terminology that we would say when we talked about females. And one of the terminology we would use is like when we run game on a chick, and we say something that we know is gonna get them, whether it be with something that'll hit their jealousy button, something that'll hit them with shock and awe. You know what I mean? It's like we know we say it and we see the eyes go left and right, like just like what's going on? And we used to say that they were glitching. Y'all about to make this chick glitch.
Right.
I mean, like we were robots. You know what I mean? Because like I said, going back to they're the same but different. So I started looking at not to be derogatory. I started looking at women as like androids, like robots. Like if you push certain buttons on a woman, I mean, you can get a certain outcome that you want. You know, so going with that, knowing that, think of them as an android or computer. Like I said in my advertisement for the book, I said that the female psyche is like the dark web. It's like uncharted territory. And this book would allow guys to hack her, to hack the psyche, to hack her programming. I mean, I go into it in the book that back to the analogy of an android. Women are programmed. Through media, social media, music, whatever the case may be. Like, where do you think they learn about romance?
Right.
They read it in the book, see it in the movie. Right. Like, you can tell them as a man. You can tell them as a man what your definition of romance is, and they'll say, no, that's not what romance is. This is what romance is, and they'll point to a movie or whatever the case may be. And to go even deeper, I was having a conversation with a woman at my job the other day, and I was telling her what a man was, and she was like, "No, that's not what a man is." And I stopped. I said, "Hold on. How you gonna tell me what a man is when you're not even a man?"
Right.
I'm a man.
Right.
I'm telling you what a man is, and you're telling me no, that's not true. So that just, like I said, it's a programming. And with the book, once you learn how to program, I want to say program. I don't like that. Once you begin to understand women, like I always say, it's not you. You'll see that female nature is neither good nor bad. Being upset at female nature is like being upset at a bird for chirping.
Right. Exactly.
It's just their nature. And also, once you understand women, and again, I can't emphasize it enough, you'll learn how to treat them accordingly. You understand? Right. Like, for example, like when a woman says, I've had plenty of conversations with women when I say, "Yo, why you go out on a date with dude and you didn't like him like that?" Well, he offered, so I'm gonna take it.
Right.
But you went on a second date with dude, like, why you? Well, he offered. If he ain't like the top, when I think about it, it's like if the dude didn't pick up the vibes or the low interest from shorty, and he's still taking her out, that's not on her.
Exactly, that's on him. Exactly what I be.
I'm not mad at you, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm saying. And this is what's so good about this book, is because when you understand why a woman would do this or do that, you say, okay, well, this is just how she most likely would probably do it. And you don't see, I think stuff like this alleviates the anger guys would have when dealing with women. You understand? Because if you know something, then you can't get angry about it no more because you knew. You understand? Now you got
better, you do better.
Exactly. You see what I mean? So I think that's good. What I find interesting also, I want to talk about this, is that in the book, you talked about how women don't necessarily recall like the facts of a situation. They recall how they felt about the situation. And I thought that was really, that's true, because I've been in so many situations where I'm like, I had the details, like, yo, this happened, that happened. And they're like, no, but they have a whole different account of what happened based off of how they felt in the moment. So what's your thoughts on that? That shit is crazy.
Before I forget this thought, what I'll say is I have to find a way to either do a video or a book on this, but guys have to learn how to, think like a man and act like a woman, in the sense that when a woman hears a man talking, she tries to read between the lines, right? Try to find out what he really means. Right. And the guy's like, yo, I said what I meant. Like, ain't no reading between the lines. That's what it is. With that being said, think as far as be a man, think like a woman. When a woman talks to you, guys take what she says as face value. Right. Nah, you got to read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to women recounting things, too many times in my experiences, a woman I will recall to her what I said or what was done, and what she recalled to me, I'm like, no, that didn't happen. And what I will think and realize is she's recalling how she felt in the moment. Right. So she replaced the fact and reality and replaced it with her emotional body. So her emotional body is her reality. Right. So if she asked you the proverbial, do I look fat in this dress? Right. And you're like, yeah, you look all right. 2 weeks later, she'd be like, yeah, just like when you called me fat 2 weeks ago. You'd be like, yo, when I call you fat? Nah. When I asked you, do I look and how do I look in this dress? You said I looked all right. You're gonna be like, I said you looked all right. I didn't say you look fat. What it is when she asked you and you say you look all right, she immediately said, oh, he thinks I'm fat. Exactly right. Right. So she forgot what you said. What you really said in her mind, what you really said is what she believes between the lines. So guys, I have a whole chapter that's called Never Argue. There's no point in arguing. Too many times, especially so many times in my last long-term relationship, we will be we would be arguing. And again, like Locario said, I'll be hitting them with facts upon facts upon facts. And she will reply with emotion. Exactly. And I'm like, you're not even addressing what that'll trip you out, and that'll get you frustrated. That's the frustration part. Exactly. Right. You're not even acknowledging my facts. You're replacing with emotion. I can't do nothing. Emotion is like punching air. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do nothing with that. So with that being said, fellas, never argue with a woman. You know what I'm saying? What's the other saying? When you argue with a fool, I'm not calling women fools at all. I'm just talking about just arguing, period. When you argue with a fool, no one can tell who is who. Right. So that's another way of saying there's no point in arguing. If you know the facts, if you know what you're saying is facts, is the truth, what's the point of going back and forth? That's your ego, family. Exactly. You gotta know how to control your ego, whether it be with women or dudes. What's the point of arguing? If I ain't losing no bread, I ain't losing the opportunity. Like, if it's with my mans, we chilling, whatever. I'm just kicking with Locario, like, we just shooting the shit. All right, we might just, it's not an argument. It wouldn't even be an argument. It would be a debate because, I debate my equals. You know what I'm saying? We just go back and forth, whatever. But as far as arguing with emotions, nah, there's no point, brothers, with men or with women. And, it's funny. I like what you said in the book where you were talking about how, if you're arguing with her, you're basically going in her direction. You're following her lead. You're almost being like her because that's how they're communicating with that argument. You understand what I'm saying? Versus a man, we're supposed to be we're more logic. We're more order. You understand what I'm saying? So can you expound on that so that guys understand that? I tell dudes all the time, but they don't want to listen to me, man. When a chick does something, not for all situations, but for certain situations, I'll tell them, yo, ignore her. They're like, yo, what you mean? Yo, just no. I'm like, yo, once it's like I also said in the book, like, women love your attention. Right. And dudes don't understand how important their intention is. But real quick, rephrase the question for me because I want to tap into that because you were saying that, like, when you're arguing with a woman, it's almost like you're following her sort of frame. I got it right here. Right. You know what I'm saying? So women inherently know that being emotional is a feminine trait. Not saying it's only women have emotions, but speaking through your emotions is feminine. So I tell dudes, like, can I say it? Yeah, dudes basically go into their feminine trait, and when a dude respond, how can I say it? If a woman does something wrong, does something inappropriate, sometimes it's best to almost sometimes it's best to take your attention away, because when you respond to it, it's like, well, look, last time you did this, and then the last before time you did that, and I don't want you doing it.
Right.
That's so you start whining.
Yeah, you end up getting into the argument because
you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's best to not say nothing and just give a like dad, not even daddy, because daddy is synonymous with sugar daddy. Sometimes you gotta be like dad. Shout out to Afi. Sometimes you just gotta give her a look like that's what we doing.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Not emotional.
Exactly. Right.
No, not even that. You just look at you just give her that look like you done fucked up, right? All right. Because as soon as you start picking and saying this, that's a feminine thing.
Right.
So arguing with a woman, or even sometimes even responding to disrespect or the ignorance, like a chick say something stupid to you, like see, like I said, this different. It's not a whole umbrella. Like sometimes a chick say something stupid to you, you gotta say, yo, that's some dumbass shit you just said right there. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes what I'm basically saying is, don't nitpick, don't whine, don't keep scoreboard. Like I did this and I did that and you did it and I ain't like we did. That's whining. No, you're done. You lost. Even if you're right. Even if you're right in every point, you're in your feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like I tell my younger brother, man, being a man is one of the hardest things that I'm doing in my life. Because to be a man is to control your emotions, have the ability to set your emotions aside and use logic and reason.
Right.
Controlling your emotions is a beast, bro.
Right.
So if a chick straight wild disrespect you, especially we in New York, Locario, you know how they get down out here.
Right.
Wild disrespect you. Sometimes, bros, fellas, yo, cut her. Another one of my saying, take it back to that show, that movie Heat. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, fellas, you gotta be able to leave a situation in 30 seconds flat. That dudes be loving these chicks. Shout out to Professor again. These chicks give you a couple of compliments. You on the 100th floor. You scared to jump now.
Right. That's facts. That's facts. And guys, we got 142 people watching. Guys, get the likes up, people, because
salute to the chat, yo.
The game is about to get even heavier because we're about to get into some other stuff in this book, man. Because I was like, man, it's a lot of stuff in here that you don't hear a lot on YouTube. This hey,
Locario,
the book.
Let me say this real quick. When I was listening to my playback before I put it out there were certain things that I heard on the playback on the audio book. I was like, yo, bro, you actually wrote that shit?
Right.
Like I'm looking at my you know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, wow. Okay, listen, okay. So go ahead, man. So I know what you mean.
I'm telling you, I was reading this like, yo, this shit is crazy. And what I want to talk about too, and I want you to touch on, is you talked about the three shelves of women, right? You said you got the bottom shelf, middle shelf, and top shelf. So explain what those three shelves of women are and how does that pertain to the game and all that other stuff.
You see, the game isn't one hat fit all. You know what I mean? Like just like back to fishing.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a fisherman. I've never been fishing, but I do know you don't use the same reel or the same bait for every type of fish. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I don't even think dudes know that there are different types of fishes out there. So they use the same reel and the same bait for every single one. Nah, you got to know who you rocking with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Also have to say depending on the type of dude you are, because depending on the type of dude you are, your bait and your reel might be good for all fishes.
Right.
So, but for the average dude, you got to understand there is a bottom shelf, middle shelf, and a top shelf chick. What I mean, real quick, bottom shelf chick. See, I'm not gonna go into too much detail because you got to read it in the book and all that. But bottom shelf chick, you could say is like, let's go in. All right. Your bottom shelf chick, that's like your hood booger. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like, you know what I mean? Like, she the one going to the store with the shower cap on. You know what I mean? With the tank top. You know what I mean? With a couple stains with the sweatpants on. You know what I mean? She a hood chick. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, does drugs. You know what I mean? Smoke, drink, do all that. I mean, might even sell her body. You know what I'm saying? Right. Get her money across. But the thing is, there's some dudes that'll shit. Let's be honest. There's some dudes out there that actually like try to treat this chick like a middle shelf chick.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about the middle shelf chick. The middle shelf chick is really a bottom shelf chick that's really masking herself as a top shelf chick.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom chick is really trying to look like the top, but she's really falling right in the middle. That's the chick who got, she got a decent job. She might be a medical assistant. She
Mm-hmm.
might be, working at the law firm, you know what I mean, secretary, whatever the case may be. So she thinks she's doing something. She might even have a little change under her, got her own apartment, got her own spot or whatever. So
Right.
because of that, when she's dealing with a particular type of dude, the average dude, she might think she's better than, you know what I mean? Because in her mind, she thinks she's the top, you know what I mean?
Right.
And with that being said, when dudes are dealing with this type of chick, they might even be fooled by that mask. We could get into the mask later on,
Right.
but they might even be fooled by that mask and even treat her like a top shelf chick. You know what I mean? That's why this chick will be gassed and believe that she's actually a top shelf chick. But once you know who she is, her background, and what her mind really is,
Right.
dudes will know how to treat her accordingly, as opposed to the top shelf chick. The top shelf chick, that's, shout out to, Kevin Samuel. That's the, I'm a PhD. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
the chick who does have, her degree. And now because she has a degree, she got her own house, her own car. Now she thinks if she doesn't think she's equal to you, a man, she thinks she's better than, at least the average man. She thinks she's better than. So with that being said, the average man probably will treat her as such, better than. Ooh, you're a lawyer. Ooh, you're a doctor. Oh my God. Okay. You have a PhD. You're so smart. You make so much money. I have to take you to the finest restaurant now and show you the best.
Right. Exactly.
When in all actuality, the top shelf chick really wants to get treated like the bottom shelf chick.
They don't
know that though.
They ain't ready for that.
I don't know that though. That crown, that mask that the top shelf chick wears, that shit is heavy as hell. You know what I'm saying? To make her look like she's so smart and so rich, and you know what I mean, sometimes she wants that mask ripped off. You know what I'm saying? And other things too. But you know what I'm saying? But y'all, when y'all read that in the book, y'all know what I mean by that.
Right. And you know what I want to touch on next? Now, this is probably going to be some controversial shit. And I know some women are probably going to be like, what? But then if they real, they're going to be like, all right, I see what he's saying. So there's a portion in the book where you talking about how happiness makes women uncomfortable. Like they don't really want to be happy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and you know, it's funny. That's not the first time I've heard that, which is interesting, where women generally, like when something great is happening or good things are happening, they're worried. They're like, why is this happening? And what is this about? And they're kind of like, they're not used to that. So what's your thoughts on that?
So with that being said, women don't want to be happy. Not okay. Let me not say that women don't want to be happy. Women are not comfortable being happy.
Break it down. Shit, let's go.
And with that said, so with that said, look at that. If women are not comfortable being happy, why is society always perpetuating this the saying happy wife, happy life? Understand? Right. Happy wife, happy life. That's like the unattainable. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me dive into okay. Damn, you just opened up, something just burst into my head. Boom. All right, let's go. You have masculine energy and you have feminine energy.
Right.
That's different between man and woman, because men and women have both masculine and feminine energy. It should be a balance. It should not be equal in each other. It should be balanced within each other. For example, a man could have an 80-20 ratio of feminine energy, masculine 80%, feminine energy 20%, and vice versa in a woman. Masculine energy in its natural form is order. Or for example, to put a picture, it's a straight line, order.
Right.
Feminine energy in its natural sense is chaos.
Right.
Let's do a bowl of spaghetti, right? Squiggly lines, boom. So with that being said, if femininity in its natural form is chaos, that would mean that women in their natural form love chaos. So what's the opposite of chaos is order or happiness or good, right? So I thought what made me even felt confident in writing that in the book was the fact that how many times you hear a chick be like, I got a man, he comes home on time, he does this, he does that, but he's got to be doing something. There's something got to be up with him.
Right.
Let me go to his phone. It's like they're looking for. It's like it's too good to be true.
Yes. Right. Exactly.
Women have described how they self-sabotage their own relationships. Why? Because you got to be doing something. Hey, full disclosure, my long-term relationship, My ex broke up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was the guy who said I love you more.
Mm-hmm.
I was the guy who came with, randomly came with flowers and chocolates and all that. Because
Mm-hmm.
in my mindset, I was like, you know what? Before dealing with her, I was doing me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like really on some red pill before the red pill stuff. But on my path to becoming a physician at the time, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be out here in the streets as a surgeon because I know these chicks are gonna be with me for my money. So let me
Right.
try to lock something down before I even get into med school, so I
Mm-hmm.
know that she's here for me.
Right.
So when I was in that bubble of the relationship, that's when I decided to do what society says. Everything society said to do. Because in my mind, I'm like, all right, if I do that, and she already know, well, I'm a free agent. I'm damn near LeBron coming out the
Mm-hmm.
league, I'm retiring early. So she got to treat me, a certain way, knowing that I made this sacrifice. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I say, with that being said, so I'm gonna make the sacrifice and live by society's rules and
Mm-hmm.
treat her how society tells me to treat her. And in the end of it all, I'm not gonna say that I didn't get anything out of it. I got a lot of experience, and I learned a lot from it. But the biggest thing that I learned the most, as far as relationship with between men and women, as far as intimate, whatever, that societal stuff don't work.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what makes women happy.
Right.
Because what I realized is that when I did what she said, which is what society taught her, she thought she would liked it, and then she
Mm-hmm.
realized like, nah, I liked it the way you were before.
Right.
So what I'm hearing now, and what I like to advocate now is husbands and boyfriends. When your woman tells you, or your wife tells you, I want you to change into this, as far as your personality or character wise,
Mm-hmm.
don't do it. The
Right.
reason I say don't do is because she fell in love, or she fell in lust with the person the character, or the personality that you already have. Just
Exactly.
another example, quick example, my long-term relationship. In the beginning, she would say, yo, I be thinking you don't care. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
mad nonchalant and this, that, and the third. Boom. Flash forward 3 years later. Yo, why you so emotional? Why you care so much? Da da da. Before
Right.
you ain't care so much. It's like,
Right.
well, you know what?
And you're like,
I'm just going through me. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, real quick, back to the happiness. Women are not comfortable being happy. You know what I mean? Because it's like once women are happy, it's almost like they're waiting for the other shoe to fall. It's
Right.
like, all right, it's like they can't. Again, it's not all women, you know what I mean? Because there are women out there who, what I'm saying, they have a different type of personality, whatever case may be, different view of life. But a lot of women, sadly enough, and I wish it wasn't true, they're not comfortable being happy because they're always worried about the negative, even with marriage
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. How many times do women talk about marriage without talking about, well, I gotta have something just in case he leaves me, just in case.
Right.
Why you always? Why I've yet to hear a woman tell me a scenario initially out their mouth about a scenario where their marriage actually lasts
Mm-hmm.
and there isn't a divorce and it's actually good and they have kids and they live to be married till they for 60 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot
Right.
of women don't think that way because their minds aren't. Most women aren't. Their minds aren't set to think happiness. Ask
Mm.
a woman what makes her happy and watch her study. Watch her stuck like real.
Oh man, I'm telling you guys.
Up, ladies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bash women and all that. And that's another thing. Let me just say this real quick before I forget, Locario, Mr. Locario.
Right.
This book can also help women. This book is not just for men.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I feel that it can help women is the fact that a lot of women learn about things or other people through their anecdotal experiences. You know what I mean? Just from their own personal experiences. So when I speak to other women and I say, women are, da 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 da, and women do blah 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 blah, they be like, I don't do that. My group of friends don't do it. I'm like, all right, cool. But the rest of them over there, they do that.
Right.
No, that's not true. Because most women only go off their mother, their girlfriends, their
Mm-hmm.
co-workers that they work intimately with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what I tell women is, who do you think has dealt with more women on a non-professional level, you or me?
Right. Exactly. Right.
Like, well, I think I said on a non-professional level. Oh, well, if you put it like that, well, I how many bitches you fuck?
Right. Exactly.
Huh? Just to make it clear, how many bitches? All right, then.
Right.
I said, and I tell them, I said, to be honest, the way you deal with your female friends is different than the dude you fucking.
Right. Exactly.
I'm the dude they fucking. So I
Exactly.
see that side. And not only not and what I also tell dudes is that I'm not only getting experiences from chicks I smash. Like I've interacted with a lot of women. I don't know if it's my face, I don't know if it's my personality, but a lot of women open up to me. I don't even have to be intimate with them. Like a lot of women open up quickly to me. Maybe because it's my non-judgmental face, which is something else I advocate to dudes to have. You have to have a poker face, is what I call it. I mean, a chick could be like, "Yeah, I just had a threesome last week and da da da," and one guy doing this one. A word, that's what's up.
Right.
Most dudes.
I was literally just talking about that on the last show I did with Steve Dean. We was talking about that. It was like, how women they know how to come at you based off of your reactions. So if they see that you reacting emotionally or going crazy or acting all funny based off of what they doing, then they know, okay, I know that I could get him to jump when I do this, or I could get him to do that when I do this. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a poker face, they don't know what the fuck you thinking. They don't know
exactly.
It's like
exactly.
crazy.
We got a good question up there from Angie A.
Yeah,
Angie A.
the goal to keep her unhappy. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. The goal isn't necessarily to keep her unhappy, because I also advocate, what I tell dudes is that they give gifts, and they give, for lack of a better term, they give rewards to women for things they haven't earned. Understand? So what I say is, if a woman is, talking to me correctly, treating me with respect, so on and so forth, what I do is that I can reward her with certain things, whether it be my time, whether it be with gifts, depending on the type of relationship that we have. But as far as happy and unhappy, what I would say is my goal is to never have a woman 100% comfortable with me, if that makes sense. Because I feel that if a woman is 100% comfortable with me, then there's no mystery, there's no intrigue, there's no feel of chase. I like her feeling like, damn, what spot am I in? Am I in number 1, number 2? Because that's another thing that I emphasize to dudes, and I say just to women in general, is that when I first meet women, I let them know off top, like, and I'm not gonna say what I say, but in not so many words, I let them know that I have other women friends, other female friends. What I do with them, how I deal with them, that's not important. What's important is, with that being said, do you want to still deal with this? So me giving women that option off top and from the jump, that already, and if they decide to move forward with it, that eliminates all that. Where were you? Who you talking to? Like, once a woman starts acting like that, it's like, yo.
Also, I think when we talk about happiness, happiness is still an inside job. So it's still up to the woman to sort of figure her own thing out to feel comfortable in whatever situation she's being in. You know what I'm saying? And I think as a man, because I think what makes men unhappy is trying hard to make women happy, which is something we can't necessarily do. I think the most we can do as men is, if a woman is someone that, if we're with a woman we care about, or she's somebody like, meaningful to us, it's like, okay, I'm taking time out to, manage this situation so that me and the woman can actually have a good situation. But as far as that, after that, it's kind of like, like I can't.
This is what I say to that. What I tell dudes is, and women, I say, I can't make a woman happy. I can only make her happier. Heard? Let me meet a chick who's already happy. You think the way I am, I can't make her happier? Come on, bro. I'm already uplifting chicks already down on themselves. If I meet a chick's already happy, it's over. So I can't make a chick happy. That's your job, meaning her stuff. Like you said, that's an inside job. It's nobody's job to make another person happy. A person can only you can only make another person happier. Add on to their happiness. I'm not here to build your foundation. That's your job.
Facts. And what I wanted to also talk about is, in the book, you talked about how her actions are biologically determined. So what is your thoughts on that? Like, what does that mean as far as her actions are biologically determined? What are you talking about in that sense?
I think that's more so like hypergamy. I mean, a lot of dudes nowadays are men, and what I'm saying is that's their biological imperative, just like it's our biological imperative to look at women and want to procreate. You know what I mean? Like, you'll have husbands who've been married 10, 15, 20 years, but still look at other women. They may not cheat, but they still have that imperative to, like, yo, you seen that? It's an imperative. So as far as female and their imperative, I broke it down to, like, the caveman days, you know what I mean? Or hunter-gatherer days, where the women had to be with the not had to. They wanted to be with the biggest, the strongest
Mm.
hunter, because
Right.
with having that guy, they know that they will be protected and
Mhm.
provided food, shelter, not just for them and also their children. I mean, when I say their children, it's not like they're like, I'm gonna have children with this hunter, and he better make sure that he comes back to this hut every night. And then, nah, when dude come back, make sure she knows that he's not gonna come back empty-handed. She
Mm.
knows that she know that he don't got that she doesn't have to worry about other hunters messing with her and her kids, because they know that she's that hunter's woman. You know what I mean? So back to hypergamy and a woman's biological imperative.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we don't live in a hunter gatherer era anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like money is power now.
Mm-hmm.
So if a guy has money, and just like us, again, shout out to Mr. Freeport. He has the analogy where if you have a homeless woman, you know what I mean, and she's with her husband, she's a married couple on the streets for, let's say, 5 years, got
Mm.
2 kids, and a dude in a Bentley limousine pulls up on her and tells her basically like, yo, look, I'll take in you and your kid, but you gotta leave your husband here.
Mm. Right.
And you don't gotta pay for nothing. But the only deal is you gotta leave your husband. You can never get back to him.
Right.
9.67832% of chicks
Right.
gonna take that deal.
Right.
Who's gotta understand why?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If she loyal, she might try to sneak you. You know what I'm saying? Something 3 years later, she might
Right.
find you, be like, yo, drop you a bag. But again, that's if she's loyal. She probably won't. Most chicks probably won't do that. But
Right.
yeah, a chick's biological imperative. When we talk about chicks monkey barring, monkey branching, you know what I mean, she might be with you, but just know the reason why she already had somebody 2 to 3 weeks after y'all broke up is because she's already talking to do 2 to 3 months before y'all broke up.
Right, right, exactly. That's facts. That's facts. And so what I also found interesting in the book was you were talking about how sort of women's relation to money and like dates, where like a woman, if you take her out on a date, let's say that like for coffee, she's gonna think you're cheap because she equates how much money is in the situation and it's related to her worth as a woman, or the worth of her vagina. You feel what I'm saying? Which I absolutely agree with, because I've been in situations where I'll be talking to certain women and I've heard women say, oh, well, I'm worth more than just a coffee date or so, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? What's on that?
Hey, so women even perpetuate this in the sense that, you hear chicks tell their girlfriends like, wait, hold on, you let him hit? But he ain't take you out yet? What'd he get you?
Right.
Like, hold on. So dude got to buy you gifts and trips and all this and that for the box?
Mm-hmm.
Did we forget that this is an even exchange, no robbery?
Right.
Sex is not. But the thing is, all right, boom. Let me rewind it. Zip. Let me rewind it. Back to the coffee date.
Mm.
So whether chicks consciously or subconsciously believe it or not, the reason why they feel offended when a dude offers, a walk in the park or just a coffee date, whatever, it's like they're saying, or they subconsciously thinking that this dude thinks that he only has to walk in the park. This dude thinks he could get it for free.
Right.
A coffee drink. This dude thinks you got to pay $5 and I'm gonna give it up.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, why are you equating the value of the date to your box?
Mm-hmm.
Because one, women know what men want. When we go out on this date, she know what you want, so she's looking at you like, this is all you're willing to pay to get this.
Right.
The thing is, like I said in the beginning of my book, I said if my description of a prostitute is a woman who feels that she needs to get paid or get some type of gift or some type of whatever before giving sex up to a dude, and I describe that as a prostitute, and you feel some type of way, you need to look in the mirror.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the definition of prostitution. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying nothing foul. I'm just saying that's the definition of prostitution. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, damn, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Now you're saying about them feeling like they almost like prostitution if you want to get the money for the.
So back to these dates. So ask yourself, fellas, why do you think these women want to go to high-priced first dates?
Mm-hmm.
Because they want to feel like You willing to sacrifice something, you willing to invest, but what are you really investing in? The box. You know what I mean? And the reason, and this is what I was gonna say, subconsciously, the reason, okay, this ladies, strap in. Okay? Strap in. I mean no ill malice by this, but this is I'm speaking with love, okay? The real true reason why women think this way when it comes to how much is the guy paying for the first date and equating that to their box is because women know that the most valuable thing that they can give you is their box. So
that's why women be like, usually be like, I gotta make this guy wait.
Exactly, because she giving it all. That's all right there for her. That's why a chick will head you to death. She'll head you for 3 months. You know what I mean? For them 3 months, well, put you know what I mean?
Right.
But the box, she gonna hold that because that's everything, right? Well, that's not everything. That's 90%. The whole thing to me is when she has your kid. You know what I'm saying? That's giving you everything. But that's why women, consciously or subconsciously, if they equate the date to how much you think their box is worth, that's why you got some chicks be like, you ask her, how much for a guy to hit? They be like, 10,000.
Right.
What? But it's an even exchange, Locario. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Why is a dude gonna give a chick 10,000? I don't care if it's a prostitute, Locario. It's still a box.
Right.
No box is worth 10,000, family.
And you know what's funny? What happens is that sometimes when a woman has sex with the guy quickly on the first date or first meeting, it's because she felt like it was benefit for her. You understand? Meaning like she's like, I was so attracted to that guy that I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. You understand what I'm saying? But if it's an average dude, right? She's not necessarily going to give it to him because she's like, well, I could get much more out this average guy. You understand what I'm saying? I can up the time, effort, money, attention, energy out of this guy. So that's going to be the benefit for her for that particular guy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's like the difference between the boyfriend and the bad boy. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If she's dealing with a dude and the dude's giving boyfriend vibes, she's gonna hit him with that. You gotta wait 90 days. I think I wrote that in. I don't know if I wrote it in the book. I think I wrote that in the book.
And that's the next thing. That's the last thing I wanted to get to because I don't want to get too much stuff in the book because I want you guys to get the book. So this is the last thing we'll talk about is you have a chapter you talk about her lust for the rebel, right? You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that? Like, why do women lust after? This is like the age-old question of like, yo, why you got the guy that treats her good and nice and she says she wants that dude, but she's lusting after the bad boy, the rebel, the guy who's kind of like indifferent to her, the guy that's like, yeah, you're cool, but I'll see, this, I ain't promising you nothing, whatever. And she lusts and wants that guy heavy. You feel what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that?
That goes back to one of the videos I did when I spoke about the dichotomous mind of the female. Dichotomous meaning double-minded, right? Two sides, A, B, right? Whatever you want to call it. The dichotomous mind of the female is broken up into two between what society has programmed into her and her natural, you know what I'm saying? Like, animalistic mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in that video, I spoke about how a woman does want an alpha and a beta.
Right.
Okay. She wants that husband that provides for her and takes good care of her and is her emotional rag and all that stuff and all that, which is kind of what we call the beta male provider, right? Has sex with her missionary style, doesn't pull her hair,
right?
Would never assault her physically with his hand ever. Doesn't grip her too hard, doesn't want to leave any marks.
Right.
Beta male provider. But that's what society tells her she should want. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially as she matures as a woman and becomes an adult. But the other side of her mind, she wants that dude who's the outlaw, like I said, the rebel, who doesn't listen to what she says, challenges her. You know what I mean? That pulls her hair. You know what I mean? That doesn't react with the you did this, you did that. Gives her that look like,
right.
All right, but you on ice right now. You know you ain't gonna see him for like a month now, right? All right, boom. I mean, so women want both of that. So a lot of guys can't understand that dichotomous mind. But what I tell guys is you should learn how to be yourself, man. And
Right.
most guys, I believe, once you learn how to be yourself, like you really truly know who you are, because once you know who you are, then you're able to govern yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're able to govern yourself, you won't necessarily need societal laws. You
Mm-hmm.
heard? What my moral, my character tells me I'm not gonna fuck a dude wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But understand, I believe there's only three statuses in society. You're either single, married,
Mm-hmm.
or divorced.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if a chick tell him she got a boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
bro,
Right.
these chicks out here be having boyfriends. That boyfriend's a placeholder for
Mm-hmm.
somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? Now when she deal with me, she's gonna try to put me in that spot of boyfriend, whatever, because she's gonna want to keep me. But guess what? As soon as two things, as soon as I put if I were to put myself in that spot of being a boyfriend, now I'm not the same dude no more. Now I don't have the same luster. But if I stay out that position, now she's gonna love chasing me, trying to get me in that position. That's
Right.
she really wanted something to chase like a cat. I said that before in one of my videos. It's like chasing the mouse. If you ever seen it, literally seen it, I've seen a cat chase a mouse.
Right.
Once they catch the mouse, guess what they do? They let the mouse go again.
Right.
One isn't catching the mouse. You know what I mean?
That's facts. That's some real shit. That's some real shit. Man, listen, you guys got to go get this book. We got 200 people watching. Make sure you guys hit that fucking like button, people. Hit that goddamn like button. Hit that like button, people, man. And so where can people find you? What's the YouTube channel? What's the Instagram?
Yes,
To give out all of the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. You can check me out on the Red Pill Chauvinist channel on YouTube. That's the Red Pill Chauvinist, and just for people, just so that people can understand, chauvinist does not mean like female hater. Chauvinist means excessive supporter. So I'm an excessive supporter of the Red Pill mindset, being able to see through society's narrative, being able to have discernment. So on IG, you can find me at the Sigma Chauvinist, because IG decided to delete my second Red Pill Chauvinist IG page. So we're gonna go with the Sigma channel. You know, we're keeping it light. But I really want people to check the book out, man. It's not just for men, it's also for women. Women can understand other women, women who have sons. Women who have sons, if you love your son, especially if their father's not there actively raising them to be a man, buy this book for them. Buy this book for yourself. You didn't grow up with a father. You don't know what a man really is. Excuse me. Matter of fact, I did describe what a man is. The most poignant sentence that I said that described what a man is, I said a man is, what I said? I said a man is the perfect example of beauty, intelligence, and strength. That's what a man is. But a lot of women don't see man as that. So but women, understand yourselves, man. Because once you understand yourself, then you'll be able to govern yourself more. Even though I believe you need a leader in your life, you know, to guide you in that path. I mean, I was about to get into another topic, but men and women, buy the audiobook, buy the ebook, buy the paperback, whatever you want, whatever type of media you want it in, but definitely buy it. It's going to be a collector's edition. Believe me when I tell you, I believe this book is going to last another 50 years. You know what I mean? So get on it now. And yeah, man, it's all about, you know what I'm saying, opening your eyes to the light, man. Because what I realize is, Locario, a lot of people don't want the truth.
Right.
Me and you can be sitting here right now and telling you, like, yo, fellas, all the questions you have about women is in this book right here. Boom. Even if you don't understand English, I got it in Spanish for you. Boom.
Right.
Those would be like,
exactly.
The reason why is going off the saying, ignorance is bliss.
Right.
Because once you know, Locario, you can't have no excuses now.
Exactly.
So dudes still want to have their excuses, like, but I didn't know. Yo, fellas, I'm gonna tell you right now. You want to know how to get a chick number? Get this book. You want to know how to lace something in one night? Get this book. You want to know how to have a long-term relationship with a chick? Get this book.
Exactly.
You want to know how to raise a woman into a wife? Your daughter into a wife? Get this book. Hey, ladies, you want to know what a wife is? How to be a wife to a good man? Get this book. Come on, man.
And guys, the links are. April is putting the links up in the chat, so you guys can hit the link and go straight to Amazon and get the book right now. I'm telling y'all need to get this book. I'm telling you, it's one of them books you pick it up and you can't put it down because you're like, and you're just like, damn, I got to know more of this shit. It's crazy.
Yo, I felt the same way. Go ahead.
It's crazy because listen, because it was like I'm reading this and I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh shit, this shit is heavy. I was like, this is some heavy shit.
Yeah,
you see what
and game. This is what I'm talking about.
I'm saying?
It's not like Locario ain't know nothing in what was in the book. It's like actually seeing it on paper. It's like
right. It's like I'm it's like stuff that I'm recognizing over again. I'm like, oh shit, I done forgot about this shit. Like that's what I'm telling you guys. And I'm telling you, this shit's gonna open your fucking eyes because I think guys just need to be aware. You understand? And what I love about it again is that I think people get the misconception of when you're telling the truth about something, people sometimes think you're like bashing or trying to be like fucking negative. And it's like, no, there are certain things, you understand what I'm saying, that are in reality. You understand what I'm saying? That are just what it is. Just like the other day with your boy Derek Jackson. What happened with him? That's reality, bro.
Reality.
That's what I love about it. It's reality. Like, yo, it's like dudes is gonna do their shit. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Guys are gonna make it happen. So it's the same thing on the women's side, is that there's certain things that women do that you may not be accustomed to. And the reason why you're not accustomed to it is because women, for survival, have to put on a face for society. You see what I'm saying? And so this book, it unveils the fucking mask of it. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, talk about the mask part of the because you had the acronym MASK. Talk about that real quick before we go, because I thought that was dope.
So yeah, in the book I talk about MASK, man. The acronym MASK, right? And just to break down each letter, M stands for makeup, A stands for attire, S stands for script, and K stands for kitty cat. You know what that is. So real quick before we get off, so makeup, I basically talk about that's like their first defense of their mask. You know what I mean? Like they got the caked up face. You know, you heard about some chicks how they wake up in the morning before they man wake up, throw makeup on and this, that, and the third. You got some chicks that'll be like, you know, hold on one second, I gotta throw my face on.
Right.
On some, like, if they don't have makeup on, they feel like they're not even themselves. You know what I mean? So it talks about how, you know, sometimes women even use makeup to hide like diseases, you know what I mean? Whatever on their face, boom. Attire, we talk about attire. Women use attire. It's all about manipulation, man. Women use attire that's their hook. That's their fishing line. You know what I mean? That's their bait. You know what I mean? So women use their attire to, you know what I mean, to communicate the type of chick they are, with a bottom shelf, middle shelf, top shelf. You know what I mean? All that shit. You know what I mean? Script. Remember how I told you how society, you know, trains women, it programs women. I remember being in college, a woman would say something to me, I respond, and their response back would be like, you weren't supposed to say that.
Right.
You were supposed to say this. And I would literally say, oh, my bad, I ain't get the script.
Right.
Looking at the sarcastic, like, what the fuck you talking about, bitch? Get the fuck out of here. And that's why I got the word script. And I'm like, yo, this bitch thing out. And I realized, like, oh shit, the game comes from ad-libbing. Don't follow the script. Ad-lib. Anyway, and kitty cat, that's the regular shit. Like, you know, dudes is already open up chicks kitty cat. Like, y'all bugging for that, man. Like, that's the greatest thing they could offer. Understand, like, that shit is ubiquitous. Now look that word up. The kitty cat is ubiquitous in the world. So stop. You don't gotta be all open up that. But last thing I want to do, Mr. Locario, is actually read the title of each chapter real quick, so dudes can have an understanding of what the book is about.
Right.
So we have preface, introduction, the same but different. Venus controls Mars. Heartless creatures that want to have fun! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! The abysmal abyss, their minds. Mask, makeup, attire, script, and kitty. Children. You're off air. I'm gonna tell you what the original name of the chapter of children I was gonna say. But we have children. Next, money is her god. Next, never argue. Period. Guilty conscious? Question mark. Her lust for rebels. Matrimony. Business as usual. A bride versus a wife. A day versus forever. And lastly, grandmaster. Because by the time you reach that point, you should be a grandmaster. Grandmaster is a word that corresponds to a master of chess. But at the end of this book, you will be a grandmaster, able to checkmate any situation in your life.
That's some y'all. Listen, I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't get this book, y'all slipping. So listen, make sure you guys go to Amazon, click those links. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you guys subscribe to Red Pill Chauvinist on YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? Hit them up on Instagram, man. We got to do this again, man. I got to get you some more of these live streams and get this shit cracking. You feel me? So
man, give me the time and date. You know what I mean? I'm here, man. It's whatever.
Definitely.
Us New Yorkers, we gotta stick together, fam.
Definitely, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to April MC for putting up the links. Appreciate you, girl. Shout out to Unique 79.
April MC, I appreciate you.
Shout out to Unique 79 to put up the link. Shout out to everybody in the chat rocking with us. We appreciate it. You said you got an audio version of it too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We got the audio book. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So that's what's up. So you got the audio version. So for y'all,
I'm gonna put it in the chat right now.
Right. So for those who don't want to read, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got no excuse. You can get the audio version and just listen. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys, get that shit cracking. You feel what I'm saying? So you got the audio version, you got the book version, and it's in Spanish, people. So if you got people that read Spanish or know Spanish, they can get that shit cracking. You feel what I'm saying? So you could get that shit going on right there. You feel what I mean? But make sure you guys get the
Locario, you gotta give me a wrench, fam. I can't put it in the
make you put it up. You know what I'll do after the stream? Send me the link and I'll put it in the description and everything.
Right, we'll do.
Definitely, bro. But man, listen, appreciate you guys. We gonna holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. We out. Peace. Sure.